You know, it's happened 29 years ago, the Charles Barkley era. Fast forward, went past the pandemic, it's been in the works, and it finally came together to actually be here for the playoffs and winning the franchise record, and for the Suns to be this far. You know, the Navajo Nation is also part of it, and broadcasting all in the Navajo language play-by-play. So we've done it back in '93, 29 years ago. We're going to do it again when we stepped it up a little bit, and we're good to go.
How would you compare these two playoff runs between '93 and now 2022?
Ooh, '93 they should have won it, but they lost to the Chicago Bulls with Paxton's three-pointer at the end, and it's been a drought all along. Last year they lost to the Milwaukee Bucks with Mikey Budenholzer. I went to school with him back in high school. He went to Holbrook, so we were good friends, and he was in the Spurs back then. So today's life, they're younger, they're quicker, and they're ready, they're determined. It's time for them to win a championship.
What was Mike Budenholzer like as a kid growing up? Did you think he'd be an NBA coach years down the road?
You know, he was a gym rat. He was already playing basketball, and as a freshman, he was already playing at the collegiate level, and his father was the athletic director, so he came from a good basketball family in Holbrook, Arizona, and he went on to college playing basketball and landed in San Antonio with Popovich, and he grew and blossomed from there. Now he's Milwaukee Bucks, and so, you know, his team is doing good, and you know, he still represents the Navajo Nation area and state of Arizona too.
Can you just talk to us about the Navajo Nation and how they are as Suns fans and kind of how these broadcasts have been received?
We love basketball. You've seen it in high school, and once we jumped the cradle, we're all about basketball. We've had that uncle, that grandfather, that auntie, that mother that played basketball. So it's in our genes, and we love it. You know, it's an all community. We're all about basketball. We pump it up a notch when it comes to the Phoenix Suns, and we're supporting 100% in the Grand Canyon State being the Phoenix Suns.
And for someone that hasn't heard a Navajo broadcast before, how would you describe it to somebody?
The Phoenix Suns are known as the sun. The Navajo way is Juhana. They're ready to play basketball. We're together, we're one team, we're determined, and we're going to win it all.
And what sort of complexities go into you know, translating it and broadcasting it live in such a fast-paced game?
Navajo is very descriptive, the language of out of bounds. The game is already going down the other way when you're still trying to describe something, but it's best that I do only because our grandparents that are listening, viewing it, want to know exactly what happened on one end of the court before, you know, that three-pointer, that slam dunk that happened. So descriptive of the Navajo language is very colorful, exciting, and it's real. You know, it's like them sitting here front row watching the ball game.
Why is it so important to you to broadcast these games in Navajo for that community to make sure that they're seeing and hearing everything that's happening?
Well, you know, people didn't think it was possible to broadcast in the Navajo language, but for me being behind the microphone to broadcast is painting the picture for our elders and using the Navajo language, all different ways of even how a player is walking, a slam dunk, and all the excitement. It's very important because it's almost like storytelling for our elders. Our younger generation get to learn the language of saying free throw, so the more it's repetitive, and they'll remember. So that's how the language will prolong into the future.